What's going on, guys? Gomes here back again on another MLB The Show 19 Diamond Dynasty video. We are going to go over today some base running tips and how to steal bases pretty much every single time. Now, there was once a time long ago where I was not that great at base running, but I got a lot better at it. So today I want to go ahead and pass those tips on to you. If you guys could leave a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, really would appreciate it. You guys have been killing it with the support as of late, and I cannot thank you guys enough. But we are going to get into this. We are going to be using the custom practice just because it's a controlled environment and it's going to be the best way to show off, the best way to steal. So we're going to hop right in there and we're going to get onto the tips. So here we are on the custom practice. As you guys can see, over at first we got Fernando Tatis Jr., definitely a guy with a good amount of speed. And now there are a couple things that we should note first of all. So this of course is offline, so it's not exactly going to play like another human counterpart. There's always some things, some tests that you have to do against your opponent. So first of all, if you have a runner on first base, and I would only recommend obviously to steal first to second or second to third. Usually first to second is the most common one that you're going to want to do. Second to third can only, I would recommend it in certain situations. For example, if there's two outs, never try to steal second to third. It just doesn't make sense, because if you have somebody fast and you get a single, you're probably going to score them anyway more often than not. So it's important to understand the situation and your opponent's situation. I don't recommend stealing on the first pitch unless you know your opponent, and especially if they had just put in a new pitcher into the game, never steal the first pitch that they throw, because you always want to see some pitches, and we'll just check with Charlie Morton right here how slow his delivery is. That's not super fast, and it also has to play an effect with what kind of pitch they're going to throw and then how fast their fastball is. So for example, if you're going to take a guy like Aroldis Chapman, assuming that they're not going to slide step, which the way to slide step is L2 and X, or L2 and whatever button that you are. I didn't mean to steal right there. We are going to get the steal in base, but you guys get the idea. So slide stepping is something they're going to do, your opponent will do if they're going to try and think that you're going to steal and try to throw you out. So more often than not, I don't think you ever really need to take a step. Honestly, I think that's a good enough of a lead. And what you always do, what I always do, and this is vital if you have multiple guys on base, for example, if you have runners on the corners, perfect spot to steal, because you can get both runners in scoring position and eliminate the chance of a double play possibility. So what you want to do is you're going to want to point the stick right here over, I got a new controller by the way, and then you're just going to want to hold down R2 and then also hold down this button right here, and for some reason it didn't actually send him right there. Usually I like to just tap this button a couple times. I don't know, it's kind of weird how it works. And then once he is going to let loose, then you're going to want to go, and that is going to get you a really good jump. And sometimes it is a little bit random. That was still, you know, not the best jump, but we did get in there. And you can see a guy like Charlie Morton, who doesn't throw all that fast, at least regularly, and that's another thing to keep in mind. Keep a track on how your opponent, what he's throwing in the first pitch. You know, personally me, I don't throw fastballs first pitch all that often. I usually would try to go with a breaking pitch, a curveball, a slider, just to try to throw people off, but that can also work against you, and it's something that you're going to have to think about. So if the guy does throw a lot of breaking pitches, then maybe you do want to go up earlier in the count. But still, I think always with one strike, or I mean the first pitch of the at bat, it is usually just pretty common and it's pretty noticeable. That's the time that people are usually going to try to slide step you. Right, again, we're going to get the jump right there. Tatis Jr. is just in there, not by much. We're not getting the best jumps right now. It does work a little bit better online, as you guys will see, but we're going to do it just a couple more times. As you guys can see, we're not going to take a lead because we don't need a lead. And Tatis Jr., I believe he has like 80 or so speed, which is not elite. You're definitely going to find better guys like that in Diamond Dynasty, but it's still pretty good. It's going to get the job done. And you know, we have not gotten thrown out yet. And the reason why you're not going to want to take a step, let's just say if I take a step right here, they're going to try to throw you off. Now, if you do have somebody slower and you need a step, I would say if you have maybe like 65 speed or so, average. Definitely not, David Ortiz, but it's not fast. Then maybe you want to take a step, but if you take a step, always have your finger on the R1 button initially, because then if they do try to throw over, then they're going to get right back, and then you can go ahead and make your move. It's not ideal, and that's why I don't typically recommend that you guys do take a step, especially with guys that already have good speed. If you have like Ricky Henderson, for example, you're not going to have to take a step unless they throw fast, unless they do a pitch out and really get you good. But if you steal at the right time and you know your opponent, and that's the key thing, stealing bases, ask a guy like Ricky Henderson, stats and, metrics would show that he's not the fastest player to ever live, but he was the smartest base runner ever. He was the smartest at stealing bases, and that's how he was so successful. He wasn't the fastest guy ever, but he knew when to steal. He knew how to read the pitcher, and that is very important. I talked a couple of videos ago, quite some time ago, about how there's a little stutter whenever you see the window. You can't see it right now for some reason, but yeah, that is usually a good way to read if your opponent's gonna steal, but there's no way of actually seeing with the pitcher if they're going to make a move. So that's why it's always best to just stay comfortable. I do want to say though, if you don't take a step, I don't think they're ever really going to try to, step off the mound or pick you off, or at least I haven't really ran into that situation. What they'll do is most likely just try to do a pitch out, or they're going to try to slide step on you, which can have a couple different things. I do recommend if they try to slide step, always be ready to swing the bat, because what I found, I don't know if there's actual things to prove it whether or not it's true, but I do think there's some stature in the fact that if you do slide step, your accuracy is a little bit messed up. So if you are focused on that, maybe you can turn it into a makeshift hit and run and possibly get some action going there. We're going to try to get on the move once again. I don't know what's exactly bugging out right now because it's not stealing. I am hitting multiple times, but it is just not going when I want to. But yeah, you guys get the point. We're getting really good jumps. As long as you hold the L1 button, you're already going to be on your way, and it's going to get you a really good jump. And this is Tatis, who doesn't have the best speed in the game, but he has really good speed, and pretty much every single time we are getting in there. So that's really what I have to say about stealing bases. Other things that I would say mentally, just like I said, really make sure to keep an eye on how the pitcher's delivery is. Some guys are going to have really fast slide step or no. So if you do notice that they're really quick, then, maybe it might not be the best time to steal. Also think of the situation. Sometimes it warrants a stolen base. Sometimes it does not. Like I said, 1 out, runners on the corners is a perfect time to steal. And if you're really crafty with it, what you can do, and I'll try to pull it off right here. It's going to be a little bit difficult because I don't have guys that I would have in my Diamond Dynasty team, 99 speed, but we're gonna have 2 runners on base, runners on the corners. We're just gonna say there's 1 out, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna steal the guy on first base, and then once he tries to make the throw to second, we're actually going to try to go home. And it's okay, actually it sent both. I have no idea why it did that. Let's try that again. Hopefully it should work. I'm doing everything like it's supposed to be. I don't know if it's just a little bit different, and it's still like I'm hitting square. It's not going back to third. Something's bugged out with the controls right now, but you guys get the point. If you do manage to do that correctly, you can be able to, it's literally not making me go back to third, but you guys get the point. If you were to have 2 guys with like 99 speed, runners on the corners, this has worked sometimes for me, and sometimes you'll catch your guy off guard. You go with your guy on first, you manually steal once again, use the toggle to control him and tell him to steal the base, meaning only him is going to be on the move. And once your opponent makes the throw to second, if you have a guy with 99 speed, you can sometimes get in there. That is high risk, high reward. You can get thrown out at times, especially if the middle infielder has a good amount of arm strength. So if they have a guy like Cal Ripken Jr., and that's another thing I want to say, always keep in mind your opponent's guys. Who does he have on the field? Who does he have at catcher? What is his arm strength? It does not hurt to go into the player stats. That's how you do it within a regular game, and then you can hit triangle on their card and see their statistics, see their arm strength. So maybe I don't want to steal on this catcher, maybe I don't want to try that maneuver with the guy he has at shortstop. So There's just a bunch of things that you have to figure out. But yeah, that's pretty much what I have to say as far as stealing bases in this game. As long as you toggle, like I said, that's going to get you the extra manual boost. And then as soon as you see him, make sure to keep a good eye on the pitcher. You should be anyway, because if you are trained at hitting, you're going to want to always keep an eye on what the pitcher is doing. And once you see he starts going in motion, you're always going to tell the difference between them going to deliver a pitch to home plate, between them going to try to pick you off, because it will stutter a bit. And then once again, as long as you don't take a step, they shouldn't try to pick you off all that often, if at all, in my opinion. So that's really what I have to say. I would really recommend starting to try this out and start playing more speed guys. It goes, you know, pretty obvious. You're gonna have to have speed guys in your lineup in order to really have this work. For example, you know, Joe Morgan, Ozzie Smith, Ichiro, and Tony Gwynn all have pretty much 90 speed. Matt Kemp has 83. All those guys are good at stealing, and keep in mind the stealing attribute is also, it helps you out on the jump. I don't know, let me check out Fernando Tatis live series card. Maybe he just doesn't have that good a stealing attribute, and that's why he wasn't getting the greatest jumps. Yeah, he only has 44, as you guys can see. So 85 speed, 44 stealing. Don't just look at speed. Stealing is very important as well, and that's what's going to get you the really good jumps. So make sure you have a good balance. Like I said, all these guys really in my lineup, if you have 80 plus, you're probably going to get in there as long as you steal at the right time. And yeah, hopefully these tips can help you out. Hopefully you're able to steal a lot of bases, and you know, it's playing small ball. You know, I'm a Rays fan, you guys know small ball is what really helped us out, you know, to get to the World Series. You get a single, you steal a base to get into scoring position, and then all of a sudden all you really need is another single, and then you can get yourself a run. Just don't try to bunt in doing this. I really don't recommend it. It's gonna make a lot of people salty, and I did not tell you to bunt, so don't even get me messed up with that. But if you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like down below. Let me know how good you guys are stealing at bases, and you know, are you guys gonna have more speed guys in your lineup now that you have these tips? So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, there we go, some Zodi.
Love is love and hate is hate. To die is an awesome adventure, and I can hardly wait. Earth is a prison, I need a great escape. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone when I'm up in outer space. You know I'm in my zone. You know I'm in my zone. I took a bite of the glory.